if you happen to jump on the live stream, please send me a message in the chat to let me know that you're here and you can hear me. And it's telling me signal. I'm up against all of these buildings here. So, well, there's my lovely daughter, Elise. Good morning. I'm afraid it's going to be a little spotty for a minute until I move to a new spot, but let me just turn around and show you kind of where I am. We are in Inverness, but this is not the section of Inverness that I have been to. The Gunsmith Bar and the Snooker Hall and the Jesus House all in one place. And so I'm kind of on a back street to start with. I'm gonna move. I was gonna move to my left, but I think I'm gonna move straight so I can get to a better street, maybe with a stronger signal here. So let's walk down this way. Elise, can you hear me okay? I've got a few people online here, evidently, so please let me know in the chat if you can hear me, so I'm not just talking to myself, which, you know, I'm more than happy to do, I suppose. So anyway, this is, yeah, I was afraid of that. I'm streaming at 720p so I could get a little better stream, but it's telling me now that the signal straightened out because I'm in a little wider section, so maybe it will straighten up and I can keep it going. This is the problem I had of starting in the middle of town, because you just never know what the buildings are going to do to you. So I'm kind of off the beaten track just a little bit. Let me turn this back around for a moment. I'm off the beaten track for a little bit, but I'm walking toward kind of the main street. Now, in the past, when my family was here and in the first Rabbi's tour that I came on, we were kind of at the mouth of the locks that went into Loch Ness, and we are not there. So this is all new territory to me. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going this way. This is all new territory to me. I'm gonna try not to get run over. Because we are in the heart of downtown where all the shopping is, and there's all kinds of places to eat. I have, it's 1:30, I have until 2:30. Then I have to be back at the bus at 2:30, and we're gonna kind of walk back over to where I got off the bus. And when we get there, we'll kind of be done, but it is, you know, I have to find a place to get something to eat. So, I'm just going to wait a minute before I turn the camera back around. All right, let's do that. So this is kind of one of the main streets around here. And a lot of these buildings I will show you, I have no earthly idea what they are. But this building is, you know, really beautiful. And I'm sure if I walked across the street, I can tell you what it is, but I'm not going to. So we're going to walk back down this way, kind of toward the river. There are a couple of ways to get across the river. And I'm going to walk down and take the Spongy Bridge, as our bus driver called it. And again, I don't want to just walk past everything, but you'll see we've got storefronts around here, hotels all down through here. If you're interested in gift shop stuff, it's here. Anybody need a Highland Coupe? Look at that little thing right there. Yeah, I'm not buying those. you can see, we'll see it better in a minute, but here is the castle of Inverness. We'll get a better view of it down by the river in a little while. And I understand from Martin, our bus driver, that has not been open to the public very long. So I'm not going. I was going to go into the, let me turn this back around again. I was going to go into the cathedral where we were let off because it's just beautiful. And I still might, but it's 18 pounds just to walk around by yourself. And I'm like, is that really what I want to do? And I have to kind of watch the amount of cash I have left because I want to make sure I've got enough money left to give a nice tip to Martin when we're done. So let me turn this back around again. So this is the River Ness, cheaper than St. Paul's. Well, you know, I'd pay for St. Paul's. So like I said, this is the River Ness. I don't think we'll see Nessie here. I don't think it comes in this close to shore, but it is possible, I suppose. But you will see some just amazing church architecture and other kinds of things as we're walking along here. And if you look right here, that's the bridge we're going to walk across. Peaceful Girl, have I been to what cathedral before? The one here in Inverness? No. St. Paul's? No. I have been to many, many cathedrals, but those two are still on my list. Leakey's Bookstore. I've heard about that. I don't have time for all that stuff. I wish I had all day here, but I don't, obviously. I'm very limited on time, and I'm trying to spend as much time as possible with you all because you are important to me. So this is the Roll of Honor, the Queen's Own Highlanders. I'm always afraid to raise this up too much because I'm afraid the magnet won't hold, but it seems like it will. So anyway, but I always hold my breath when I get to those kinds of places. So we checked out of our hotel today. I was at the Haim on Skye. Go ahead. And I almost got hit by a car there because I wasn't watching. Which is up in the northwest part of Scotland. It's a great little hotel. This is the first year that they've partnered with Rabbi's Tours. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen the food. The food is amazing. It's basically, you know, while you're at breakfast, they give you the dinner menu and everybody checks off what they want. While you're at dinner, they give you the breakfast menu and everybody checks off what they want. All right, I'm going to need to cross the road here in just a little bit so you get a better look at these buildings before we cross the bridge. So I better wait until I get to the crosswalk. You know, the venison was amazing. I haven't had that in a long time. You know, I'm from a family of hunters, and so I've never really been one, but I have had venison before, and I really like it. A lot of people were turning their nose up at it at the restaurant because it was too gamey, they said, and whatever. I didn't find that to be the case. But, you know, according to the chef, hey, good morning, Heather. Glad to see you made it from Florida. According to the chef, the reason it was not excessively gamey, let me push this little button over here. is because we were eating Bambi, not necessarily Bambi's mother. So, I hope that didn't offend anybody, but yeah, it was young. All right, let me turn this around real quick. So we're going to be heading over here just in a little bit. You can see again the architecture that's over there. And then we're going to cross that bridge. Hopefully I'll do that without falling down. Let me come all the way back around over here because I missed this church on the corner and I walked past it a minute ago. We stopped at a waterfall, and I did post a picture on Instagram from the waterfall. And it was a little bit of a hike. There was an easy way to get there, and there was a little more difficult way to get there. And I was following the crowd, and I thought everybody was going the easy way. They did not go the easy way, and I fell. Actually, let's put it this way. I slipped going down a little embankment, and I ran. I ran to try to stay upright, and I ran into a rock that would hold me so I could kind of stop. And everybody was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I said, "Well, more importantly, my camera is okay. So everything's good." I didn't break anything. I didn't even get dirt on my clothes. You know, it was just embarrassing, that's all. Because I'm the only one that fell. But the waterfall was nice, and I'm not going to complain about going there. All right, we're almost to the bridge. And we have another church back over here. You know, to be a fairly non-religious country, the UK and Scotland has a lot of churches. And, you know, I would love to just spend a day here and go from church to church with my camera. That's what I'd like to do, but it's not in the cards. So, all right, we're crossing this bridge. The driver said it would be kind of spongy. I'm not finding that to be the case. Maybe it's because there's nobody on it to speak of. If there was a lot of people, maybe I would feel it more. But we'll stop here just momentarily. I'm trying not to turn too quickly and get y'all car sick. But you can see the view again down the river. Okay, as I'm standing here and people are walking, I can feel it. It's definitely spongy. So I say down the river, it looks like the river is actually flowing this way. So we were looking up the river. This would be down the river. You can't see it, but there's all kinds of birds over here. Where's Nessie? Heather, I don't think Nessie's in the river. And Elise, yes, I think just like people back home, we all take where we live for granted. Let's see. So this building right here with the steeple, that's a funeral home. I can see that on the sign. I don't think I'll be needing that, hopefully, today. And, you know, obviously we could do this live stream for 2 or 3 hours and I could just walk up and down all kinds of different streets, but we're not doing that today. So we are going to walk down across the street at that bridge and down a little bit. We'll get a better view of the castle. You can see it here. And we'll end up at the cathedral. We'll walk around it a little bit so you can see it too, but we won't be going in it. Let's see. Yeah, Hawaii would be a nice place to live. I understand that they are having a bit of a problem getting people to move there these days. What time is it here? It is 1:45. We should be 5 hours ahead, I think. And I know we may have one more stop before we get back to Edinburgh, but this is a travel day, and from where we were, if we were just to drive the path that we're taking, we would spend about 6.5 hours in the van. So, you know, we stopped once to let everybody use the bathrooms. We stopped once for a view that didn't really have much of a view because the trees had all grown up. We stopped at the waterfall, and then we drove the rest of the way here. So let me turn this back around again. So one of the things I like about this, I don't know if this shows up in the video or not, but the way these buildings are built, they use all different colors of sandstone and granite and whatever other building blocks they use. This is a lot of pink here on this one. It's just absolutely beautiful. Not the top of this car, but you know, the buildings over there. And again, the castle in the distance. Over your shoulder, over my shoulder. Are we talking about this way? This church? So from here you can see the other churches we walked past on the other side of the river. I'm not really sure which church you were talking about. I'm sorry. There. So no, okay. Because I'm looking ahead of me now. Hello, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Behind me now. Okay, so these are the buildings behind me. I've got a church here, and I've got all these churches over here. That's the only churches I have that are where I'm at. When we get to the cathedral, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's the best one ever. It is beautiful. All right, let me turn this back around a minute. Because what would a live stream be if you didn't see me every once in a while? Nah, you know. So here's a French restaurant. I don't know what that restaurant is. I am looking specifically for Scottish food, and today it will be Scottish food that I can take and carry. So some kind of sandwich maybe, or a macaroni pie. Macaroni pie. Man, if I could find one of those, that would be awesome. And then I'm almost back up here to the bridge where we can cross over, and I'll kind of show you up and down the street when we get here. Have I had haggis yet? Yes. On about 3 different occasions, I have had some haggis of one kind or another. One was at my hotel. First one was at my hotel in Edinburgh. They had a buffet for breakfast, and I made my own kind of full Scottish breakfast from there. And again, there's a picture of that on Instagram, I think, of that breakfast. I didn't put a lot on the plate because the plate was full, but it was there. It counts. I have a couple of places earmarked in Edinburgh that I'm going to try. One is, I think it's called the Haggis Box. I think I'm saying that right. They have other things besides haggis, but that's what they specialize in. So as you can see, we are waiting on the light. We've got all this traffic. The light will turn in a minute. There we go. So the Rock Pool restaurant here, I'm told, has a Michelin star. Not where I want to eat. I thought about going into the Milk Bar when we get done to grab something to eat and grab a coffee. And then there is a prime steak and seafood restaurant here that I hear is really good as well. But, you know, I don't have time for all that. So over here, you can see a much better view of the castle. Jesse, it has been beautiful here. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Now, it's, you know, it's in the low 50s, so it's still kind of cool. But I've got a long sleeve merino wool shirt on underneath my shirt, and that's really all I need. Except this morning when it was like 40 and our bus driver had the air conditioner on instead of the heat. And I was like, how can I keep the ends of my fingers warm? But I survived. All right, so let's see, I can cross here. And I've gotten a few pictures along here. I put my camera away for the time being because I didn't think I'd have time to take any more pictures here. Yeah, the castle's something, isn't it? And again, this is the first time I've ever seen it because this is the first time I've been to this part of Inverness. Now we're a long way away here, but you can see there is another church right here. Thank you. I'm trying my best to enjoy it as much as possible. People are like, don't waste your time doing live streams, just enjoy your time. Well, this is how I'm enjoying my time. Because not only do I get to converse with people who like my channel and like my stuff, but this is the easiest way to leave a record of where I've been. It's just to live stream it and let it post. Because we can come back to it forever. Well, as long as YouTube's up, we can come back to it. So again, there's all kinds of row houses over here on the other side of the river. I would imagine, like Chattanooga, that would be one of the most expensive places to live on the river. And right around this corner is the cathedral. So we're just about done. We've been going about 25 minutes now, so this is perfect. We'll end up at about 30. That'll be great. I love these gates and fences. I can only imagine what that would cost to make that today. But here is the cathedral. So I'll just kind of stop back here for a minute so you can take in its size and scope. It's a little dark. I apologize for that. I have my exposure compensation turned down just a little bit to keep from getting the skies blown out in the video. Peaceful Girl, I'm sure my kids do enjoy watching it. They never tell me that, but and I only say that because Elise is here and I know she's watching. So yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I even started my New Retired Me channel specifically was to kind of leave things for my kids and my grandkids. Don't let him lie to you. Because, let me just turn this around a minute. Let me get serious for a minute. when someone you love dies, one of the first things that goes in your memory is their voice. I no longer have any idea what my dad sounded like. You know, he's been gone 40 something years. I don't have, everything back then was silent movies. I don't have his voice. And so, you know, this is a way that when I'm gone, my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, they can look back and they can say, you know, Papa, he was really stupid. Huh? But he sounds good. Because one of the things I get a comment about the most on my channel is my voice. Now, what people don't understand is I've run that voice through an AI program to help it sound better. So whatever this sounds like, this is what I normally sound like. Hey, James. I'm sorry, Elise. I didn't mean to make you cry. Let me turn this back around again. So this is, I did get a picture here. This is the front door they don't use. But you know, they just don't make churches like this anymore. I mean, it's amazing how sad we've become in trying to put up monuments to our faith. And I understand it's not about the church, it's about our relationship with Jesus Christ. I get that. But people, when this place was built and others like it, they understood that the architecture itself is an invitation to the presence of God. And it draws you in. And it makes you, I mean, you see these windows up here, and I can only imagine inside all the artwork that's up there. It makes you lift your head in God's presence. Now I'm about to make myself cry. So, you know, when you walk into a little rectangular building with old wooden pews or chairs that hook together now today, it's not the same. It's relevant for today, but it is not the same. And I think we are missing something in the long run. I haven't walked back here, so I have no idea what's back here. But we'll see a little bit of it. I don't know what that house is right there. There is a cafe here somewhere. Maybe that's the cafe. So this is the back of the cathedral. It's not Ely. Ely Cathedral is still my favorite. But it's nice. And if I had more time today, I only got 30 minutes left. If I had more time today, maybe I would pay the 18, 20 pounds to go inside. But I'm not. I'm going to pay 18, 20 pounds to go get something to eat. So anyway, that is downtown Inverness. I'm just going to walk over here before I say goodbye to make sure there's not something else that is just so super spectacularly amazing that I need to show it to you. Well, we can at least walk up here and look down this side anyway, just so you can see. I don't know where that door goes either, this door. So you can see from the back. And they have put in a handicap ramp, so that's really nice. So, denomination. I'm assuming this is Church of Scotland, which is basically Presbyterian. I didn't look that, well, let's just go look. I'll say goodbye up front. There is a sign up front and a QR code, I think, that will give you more information. I'll put it on the screen. All right, that is just the accessible entrance. It's not an entrance for everybody else. yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I really am, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. I didn't have this capability in the other times that I've been here to do this. I would love to have done, I did have the capability then, I just didn't think about it, but I would love to have done some live streams when I was here with my family, get them on camera, get them talking about what they're seeing and all of that. But I gave my Pocket 3 to my grandkids when Elise took her family to London, and they got really, really cool video, I'm sure. All right, it just says Inverness Cathedral. That's all it says. It doesn't give me a denomination. This is the QR code here is just to book tours. I don't think anybody really wants to do that. So, and I don't know who, these people are over here. I kind of know who that is. I'm sure these are probably some of the early church fathers or whatever. Yeah, weird is good, Elise. Enjoy the weird. All right, let me turn this back around here. Thank you all. It's time for me to go find a sandwich or something to eat before I have to get back on the bus. I appreciate y'all tagging along. Be sure and give the live stream a thumbs up. Leave a comment maybe later. That helps the algorithm get the live stream out there. Tomorrow we will be back in Edinburgh. That's Sunday. I'm probably going to be live from along the Royal Mile. And then Monday, when it's not a church day, I'm hoping to be able to go inside Giles Cathedral. So those are the two things coming up. Thank you all. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.